Absolutely mint. Okay. Look at that. Those of you that follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I go to the F1 at Silverstone. I want to go to more like Spa and some of the other tracks as well. Always looked at the Formula cars. I've got my Formula mirrors on the van as well. And I just thought, rather than getting an EMU ADU dash, it's the closest thing to an F1 steering wheel I'm ever going to get on the road. It's got switches on each one of these rotaries. It's got multiple settings. You can program it. It operates on a CAN bus feed from the ECU, but you can also set up protocols on all these different buttons and control different settings as well. You can do things like lights and so on. So let's get it out of the box and have a look. As with everything on the van, I've always bought the product first and then tried to figure it out afterwards. Because by doing it that way, it's the steepest learning curve you're going to get on. Figure it out as I go along is how I've done the whole van, to be fair. And in keeping with the theme, let's get this box open and have a look inside. Look at that. That is absolutely delicious. They do 4 versions of this wheel. They do a 270mm, a 280mm, and then a 32 and a 35. My Momo Prototipo in the van now is 350mm across, 35 centimeters. This is slightly smaller. For that reason, I am going to be going back to power steering, because at the moment you still have to manhandle it as it is. But by having this power steering, it'll be quicker and it's going to be a lot more agile on track and going through all the little tight bits on track that you're going to be seeing. So I've also gone for the car side harness. You'll also notice there are some blanking plates on the back here. You can have gear shift and also paddles on here for clutch as well. To fit it, I've gone for this Motormech Boss for a quick release. It's got a central lug there, it needs to be welded on. And I've also got some tube here that needs to be drilled out with a 5/8. That's a 5/8 bit there, and this is 5/8 here, so we can get it the same, slot it on and get it welded up. Here's the car side harness to get everything powered up. It's all labelled as well to keep things simple. The other thing that made me go for the AIM SW4 is AIM are well known for having a great tech department. So if you are like me and you're going to be figuring it out as you go along as well, they got Frank at AIM and he's super helpful, and after speaking to him for about 10-15 minutes, he is more than happy to help me get this thing set up and talk me through the ins and outs of how to get it going. Here are the rotary knobs. It also comes with all the stickers for all the various different buttons. So yeah, I'm going to use a car side harness to get it all set up. It's removable as well, because you can plug this into this part here. Nice and straightforward. That means that this can be removed and you don't have to leave it in the car overnight. Because I've got an ECU Master AMU Classic, it's quite old school, but you do also, if you use the CAN inputs, you can also input things like fuel level. You can also use these CAN outputs here with a PDM, which would be the next product that I get from AIM. And that gives you the ability to output to windscreen wipers, to output to indicators. So I can start removing some of the car's fuse box away and start using the aftermarket setup, which is going to be simpler. It's an absolute bird's nest behind the fuse box. So I'm looking forward to ripping all that out and getting it simplified and just going back to the bare minimums that are needed for the van. But yeah, guys, I hope you like it. Just wanted to do a quick unboxing video and show you what's what. Really excited. I've waited a long time to get this. I first saw this steering wheel about a year ago, and it's one of those things that I saw and I just knew I have to get it. There's no denying that. I'm always the same. If I see something I want, I'll just keep working until I get it, and this is one of those things that just required that push to make it happen. So yeah, right, let's get it on and go from there. Okay, right, time to take the old Momo off. I do like this wheel. It's just not race fan enough, is it? So it has to go. So nice and easy on a T4. Just pop the centre cap off. Bolt is a 24. There they are side by side. On the back here we've got 70mm spacing 6-bolt PCD, and here's the Motormech Boss. I'm going to take off a nut, bolt that on. That's going to then tell me roughly where that's going to sit. Okay then, that's a quick release sorted. So that can now pop on and off, like so. Now I'm going to put the bits for the rotaries on there. They've got some 3M adhesive on the back. Put my stickers and rotary dials on. I've also got the high beam, low beam here, so I can go switch from high to low using the PDM. I've got my rotary dials here. Start stop button, it's got to be, you know, you've got to have that, haven't you, really, in all fairness. And then of course the ability to scroll through the menus and then quit the view. I have put PTP button up here eventually for nitrous. That'll just be my nitrous button at full boost, so if I'm ever on full boost and the nitrous system is armed, that will then become live. And of course just the indicators, and then simplest one of all, the horn up here. Nice and easy to beat people, just because this will also be used on the road as well. So all the buttons are in situ. Want to get it on the van now and see how it looks. It does look epic. There's no other way of describing it. I'll take this off once it's on for that moment, that big reveal, like when you get a new phone, you know, it's that excitement of just pulling it off. Oh, I'll leave it. Nice and tight. Love it. We'll leave a bit of a gap. Make sure you get a nice puddle of weld in there all the way around. That's that side done. Now I just need to measure the other side and drill that so that can slip on. Right then, so now I need to measure that. It's 18mm that hole there, so it needs machining out and then slipping over. I've drilled down this bit of steel. This is a 25mm outside diameter. I've drilled the middle out now for 5/8, which of course is this bit here. So that's that piece for there. Now I just need to do this. This is 18mm here across, and I'm going to get Ant to TIG all the way around. No bolts that can come loose, just a proper solid welded piece of metal, and I can obviously turn the wheel just to give him a nice bead as it goes around. Right, there we go. There's the central stub. That's going to sit on there. Now of course the TIG gun's going to get bloody hot, so I'm going to take as much plastic off from around here as I can and shield it so that it doesn't all melt. Not that it matters, because this will be going soon anyway. It's going to look something like that, but closer by about ½ an inch. It looks wicked. Love it. Right, I've stripped back the indicator stalks and everything off. Once everything's set up on the PDM, this is what it will look like with everything off anyway. So I'm going to scotch this up now so Ant's got a nice fresh surface to go on, because there's often quite a bit of oil and grease around these areas, and let him weld onto that.